Okay, so the recording has begun, and it's great because now it doesn't go, the recording has begun. Usually it does that. That's great that that stops. Okay. I couldn't hear any sound a minute ago, and my earplugs weren't in. So if either of you had said something I didn't hear, I'm sorry. All right, I'm with you. Hello, Ben. Welcome, brother. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of a story today. I'm going to start with a bit of a story because something quite emotional has just entered my field in the last few hours, and it related, and I could see the relationship between the emotions that I was going through and the tic, or the part of me that used to tic, or it is there as before the tic. So the plan was to go on holiday tomorrow. I was going to be going on holiday with my family, my mother, my father, my sister, and her two little girls, my nieces. And I found out about 2.5 hours ago that sadly, as we were putting the passports into the Ryanair flight check-in dialogue box, that my sister hadn't renewed my niece's passport, and so it has recently expired. She forgot to do it. So we've just found out that we can't go on holiday. Now, I was in a very calm state at that moment in time when suddenly I heard my sister crying down the phone. Like, she's like, what have I done? I'm the worst mother ever. Can't believe I can't take them on holiday. There's nothing we can do. It's not enough time. And for me, as her brother, I'm sitting there and I'm witnessing her and listening on the phone. She's like, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. So she had to go off into her process and do what she needed to do before she called me back again. But even then, I could even feel, right? I could even feel the aliveness of the emotions. For me, whether I go on this holiday or not, it actually doesn't matter, because it was kind of a free holiday for me. My family offered it because they're the person who was going to be going, can't go. And so I was invited to come as I'm back from the East. But I'm still feeling stuff. And as I sat there in front of my mother over the dinner table, I could feel the part of my body, right? A part of my body where the tic used to be was tighter. Right? There was tightness there. There was like some thickness in the body. And although my body wasn't ticking, I could feel the area of my body where the urge to tic comes from. And I could connect to where the emotion was directly related to where the tightness of the tic was coming from. And this is the seeing which we're learning to do, isn't it? As we go deeper into seeing ourselves and healing this condition, it's like, yeah, like we're constantly engaging emotionally with the world around us. This is what we're doing all the time. And so what is that relationship between the emotions of myself, the emotions of others, and my body? And can I sever the speed at which it moves from one person to me to my body? Right? It's like, okay, someone's sad. Oh, I'm sad too. Oh, I'm ticking. Right? It's boom, boom, boom. There's a relationship, isn't there, between all this stuff. And sometimes it's not about other people, it's just the emotions and the stories we're just playing in our own head, of course, right? Naturally. But it was like, there was like a density there. And I use this word a lot, density. Density, because the tic comes from something that's dense. The tic doesn't come from a lightness of the radiant sun, right? Like the tic comes from something that's not feeling good in us. Can we start seeing what that is? Can we start exploring what that is? Can we give ourselves the space, the compassion to drop in to where these emotions are kind of pushing up against our physical body? So this moves us on to the initial topic I wrote about in the Telegram group that I wanted to just explore a little bit here. And that is like the density and the heaviness of the mind that we live with is like, it's like when emotions are moving through us, around us, with us in our life, the more holding on of the density of the mind we have, the more like dams in the water exist, right? So more dams in the water. So we have the mind stuff, like the dam in the water, this dam stopping the way. There's like, you know, big rocks and trees that are falling into the river. And like, there's just stuff causing this swirling motion as this kind of an emotion just wants to move through us. The more stuff we're holding on to, the more tricky it is to allow it to move through us, right? And that's what's happening with the tic as well, whether it's the mind or the tic, same. It's like there's density, there's tightness, and we just want the currents of energy and emotions to move through us, but we can't because we're just holding on. We're holding on. So what are we holding on to? You can introspect this right now, like what's alive? What are you holding on to that is associated with the ticking? What are we holding on to associated with the ticking? Maybe your intuition's telling you something, maybe not. What am I holding on to that's making me tick? What am I holding on to that's making me tick? And the holding on is the controlling. And whether we control with the mind or whether we can control with the body and the ticking, same. It's still holding on, it's still control. So what I'm just bringing awareness to is just the seeing of the parts of us that are still holding and controlling, trying to control something. And the ticking is an unconscious part of us trying to control something because there's something we don't want to experience, right? Usually there's something underneath it. You know, I don't want to feel that. Or just push that away. I don't want to deal with that. And these are very subtle emotions, right? As a kid, they were probably overwhelming to the point where you can't deal with it. You have to shut down and hold it and push it away, and then the body does this, right? But as we're adults now, we can actually start allowing ourselves to feel this stuff. And what was once terrifying to us as a child when we experienced that bit of trauma, we realize as an adult now is like, oh, it's uncomfortable for like a moment and that emotion sucks. Oh, but it's okay. It can just go. Like it can go. It doesn't have to be with us anymore. And the more we keep releasing, the more we keep releasing that energy and those emotions, the lighter our body comes, the calmer our body comes. right? And you can feel the joy in my body as I did that, right? I could look at myself, I could see myself, and I'm like, oh, because like that's all I want for you guys is to feel, to get to the point where you're just feeling like that absolute joy and love and compassion for like one's own body. So I know certainly 5 years ago for me, I was angry at my body. I was frustrated with it. I was yelling at it. I was giving myself a hard time about it, right? I was constantly judging myself. And that was part of the process, and part of the holding. I'm not good enough, right? Not good enough. Why isn't this done already? Why do I have this thing? Right? It's like none of that helps. Well, it's it's like just twisting the knife in the wound, isn't it? It's just twisting the knife in the wound, and we don't need to do that. But also we can see, can't we? We can see it's like we can see that self-compassion, the compassion for ourselves, for every molecule of this body, more and more as we learn to relate to ourselves better. More and more as we drop it. Okay, as it's such a small group, we're going to go into practice now, and then I'll open it up for conversation for 15-20 minutes at the end, if you would like to chat, and we can share and explore. I'd love to hear from you. But let's see. No pressure either. Okay, so yeah, let's practice. Let's drop in. So however you go about beginning your practice, right? The practice of, okay, I'm with the world outside, cool. I'm doing things. I'm with the computer. I'm with my family. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to take a moment. In these moments, I don't have to be out there. I can be in here. So what do you do to do that? Do you take a breath? You take a breath. Do you look inside? Do you maybe just feel the ground beneath you? Maybe you're feeling your butt on the seat, your feet on the floor. Whatever you do, what's your ritual to go inside? And everybody's different. For me, I like to take a few slow breaths. So let's do that. And just dropping in now to a slow, rhythmic, gentle breath. And just noticing your own rhythm. Whatever rhythm that is. If you wish, you can also start noticing that the out breath is a little bit longer than the in breath. Doesn't have to be hugely longer than the in breath, just a little bit longer. And with each out breath, just relaxing the nervous system, the muscles, and the ligaments, and the whole body. It's like imagining, like picturing, seeing, visualizing your whole body just dropping into the deepest state of relaxation that you can imagine, feel, experience in this moment. And if the mind wants to come in, if the body wants to move, just notice that. Notice the part of you that wants to think about something else or wants to move the body. And if it needs to move, or if you need to think, just allow your mind or body to do what it needs to do, but also notice the part of your awareness that's seeing you do that. That's seeing you do the movement of the body, or seeing you do the thinking. And come back to the witness, just being aware. And that awareness is and can be found regularly by just coming back to the body again and again. It's easy to witness the body because it's always here. The breath is always here. It's always happening. And if there's any parts of the body that have moved or want to move, or you're feeling tension in, just allowing this area of the body to just melt a little bit. So maybe you can touch that part of your body, offer it some loving connection. Maybe you can just imagine a waterfall, a current of fresh spring water just washing through that part of your body that might feel a bit tight or tense. Maybe you can imagine or feel just some light. Your awareness on it is good enough to just allow it to soften. And so if this tic is happening or has happened in the past, there's usually tension there or around it or connected to it. And that tension is usually associated with some sort of trauma or unintegrated emotions. And so sometimes it's nice to just be witness to any thoughts or memories that pop up when we're thinking, connecting about, becoming aware of those denser parts of our body that might feel tight. But you don't have to overthink it. Right? You have to grab onto the memory or thought. Again, we're just seeing and witnessing and allowing, because it's the seeing, the witnessing, and the allowing that offers space for the body to breathe without all of this tightness and ticking. And so we can also, in this moment, connect, visualize, bring a connection to your breath and your breathing and the area of your body where you tic or where the tension is residing in this moment. Maybe the tension is in one place, maybe it's moving around the body. The body is intelligent and it's often trying to tell you where to look, right? dropping the mind, dropping the mind, dropping the mind, and coming back into that state of peace, reconnecting with the breath. And as you take each breath right now, one of the surefire ways to drop the mind even deeper is to start becoming aware of more than one sense. So we are connecting to the physical body by noticing the rise and the fall of the body. We've done that, I think, in the last few masterclasses, feeling the body rise and fall with each breath. But we can also listen to the body, listen to the breath. So we are right now, we're both feeling the rise and fall of the breath, the chest, but we're also hearing the sound of the nose, the sound of the air coming out of the mouth. And being here in this space, where the breath is naturally flowing. You're feeling the body. You're hearing the sounds of your breath and my voice. And you're also allowing the part of your body that maybe tenses or tics to relax and let go even deeper. Imagining that stream of water washing through this area of your body, washing away this space of relaxation. This depth of peace, even if the mind's popping in here and there. Is always with us. It's always here. It's always accessible. Even in a world which is, or a life or a household that is constantly on and constantly moving, there is always a part of you that can connect to this state, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes or often. There's still a part of your awareness or your consciousness that can know that this peace is there. Even if the mind doesn't want to hear it, the mind doesn't want to agree, it's okay. It's like this stillness can be infused with all of the cells, the energies, and can alchemize the emotion and energy associated with the beginning of the movement of each tic. So this peace, this stillness, this acceptance, compassion, and love is immediately there at that space where usually the tic would come from, or used to come from. And so this awareness that we are allowing your consciousness to see and reflect back upon itself for and on is offering some relief with the physical and to the physical body. If the mind comes in, if the thoughts come in, it's okay to just see the thoughts. Even if the thoughts are strong, the mind is running the show in this moment. We are also allowed to see the intelligence beyond the thinking mind. And it's something we got to do if we want to get in touch again with our own body. So just dropping now that thought exercise, that consciousness exploration, that energetic transmutation, and dropping, feeling gravity now. Feeling gravity. Maybe you feel like gravity, like a magnet between you and the seat, or the floor, or the ground, or the earth. Try and tune in with the feeling of the gravity, the energy of the gravity, not the thought of what gravity is, but the sensation of that magnetism of gravity. It's a subtle pulling down. Just staying with that sensation of gravity. Noticing that our awareness can either be on thinking thoughts, or our awareness can be on a sense, an experience, like a sense of something. So we're sensing so that we can learn more often to get out of our mind, and the mind is often the perpetrator of a lot of the control in our life. Awesome. So allowing that focus on the sense of gravity to wash away. Just spending the last minute or two here, just in the middle of your heart space and your heart center. Middle of the heart space, middle of the heart center, just connecting to that love and compassion for ourselves and our body. Just metaphorically giving ourselves a pat on the back for showing up today and saying yes to just giving yourself this space, this time, these moments, however difficult or frustrating or it might be sometimes to connect with ourselves. saying thank you, feeling that heart. And let that go. And then, when you're ready, gently, gently come back in your own time to the screen. Just going to stop the recording here.